Get in there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast Instant Match Reaction. We want you to massively get involved and give you excited already, and give us your reaction to the game. The score was at home, yes, at the new stadium, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Score was Everton 2. You're hearing this right? Burnley 0. We've done it. I did believe it. I did believe it. One thing I will say is, if you do watch the pre-match shows, I got the lineup right, exact. It was my lineup. I did say it would be the same lineup as last game, and the man over this side of me as well, he got the score prediction right as well. So I think we're pretty good hosts, ain't we, to do that? You know what I mean? Score prediction and lineup right. There you go. We don't often do that, do we?
We're not too bad at all, actually. No, I went for the wrong defender to get one of my goals, but no, 2-0, comfortable. I mean, Burnley were awful, weren't they? They were really, really weak. I expected more from them, to be honest, maybe wrongly, but I think we were more than comfortable, and at times I think I wanted to do a little bit of jiggery pokery and bounce the ball everywhere and really rub it in. But we were solid enough and clever enough and score twice. So all good.
Yeah, I thought that Burnley was really good. Best team we played all season. Like, sensational. But we was just that unbelievable that they just couldn't handle us. No, I don't like to say that the other team's crap, because sometimes it takes it away from how decent we was. But generally, I can't lie about it. They were shocking. They were shocking. Like, worst team we played all season. I couldn't believe how bad there was. We did the pre-match, didn't we? On the pre-match, I said to you, we'll come up against a physical, strong, hungry team that will really go for it against us here. And they didn't. They didn't even go for it. It was quite easy to play against. They wasn't hungry. Deflated from the game on Saturday, maybe so. But to me, that if that was us and we was trying to survive, I'd be fuming with my players then, because they didn't really fight to stay up then, did they? They wasn't that good at all. No. And they didn't really attack much either. I thought it was quite a comfortable game for us. I've not remembered us get 70%. I don't know what possession we got, but they said 70 at one point first half. I've not known us have that sort of percentage for a long time. Obviously, it might have changed later on, but we dominated that game. We really did.
Yeah. No, we were solid, to be fair. I mean, in the end, supposedly it was only 56%.
Yeah,
it felt like a lot more, really. But they didn't have enough going forward. I mean, there was one point where we sort of had a couple of dodgy passes, or the odd dodgy pass, and they did have a chance to sort of run into the area one-on-one, but never took the few opportunities they had, and they were few opportunities. So, you know, it was really good. And I thought some of the lads, same as the Newcastle game, really, some of the lads who've had a bit of stick over the last, few months or whatever, have stepped up again and, have deserved their place. We kept the same side as well. We didn't change anything, I don't think, from Newcastle, which turns out to be the right decision. Lots of people have been saying that for ages. We changed the side that was winners away at Forest, and we got beat at home. We changed the side that beat Villa away, and then we got beat at home. Or we drew at home. So maybe this sticking with a winning side thing is not too bad an idea.
Stephen went for 3, and he said he nearly got it right. He was optimistic. To be fair, it could have been 3-0 towards the end. We've had loads of chances. We'll break the game down, people. We'll break it down. We'll talk about both goals, and anything else you've got to say about the game, do tell us. It's match reaction, so we want to know your thoughts. Same team as you said, Paul. Same team, and I think Moyes he does like the team to click. He likes to play the same players. If you remember when we had Bainesy, Pienaar, it was Lescott. It was often the same 11 most of the season. Moyes does like to play with the same players. He likes them to click, and he likes to know what he's getting. And it started good. We started well, loads of possession. I'm going to be honest. I thought before obviously it took us a while to score the goal, but I thought it was wasteful in possession a little bit. We did have possession, which made me think we was good, but then we was wasteful with it a lot. You just thought, come on, where's the goal coming from? We were passing it loads, but the passing wasn't good enough. It was a nice keep the game going along enough. Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Good save at the end. Now.
Wasteful possession. I bet you was frustrated with that as well.
Yeah, well, you know, they were playing a low block and all that sort of stuff, but we were very patient. I thought we were clever in. We want lots of crosses, but we pick and chose our moments. I think that's, you can tell that was a conversation they must have had, because we weren't just setting it up for a cross, throwing a cross in. You know, because we've seen how teams have come unstuck against us when they've tried to attack us, and we've defended in some ways, like, you know, the setup as Burnley had. But when teams are passing it around you and passing it as quickly and as confidently as well as we were tonight, then you can find the gaps and you can find the through balls. I mean, you wouldn't have had, there's not a chance in hell. What would have been 14 months ago now that we would have been playing passes 5 yards to people who've got 2 people behind them just to try and create a little bit of space. There's so much confidence in that that you can see that's building, and I like it, and it does create 1 or 2 little spaces that can then, you know, it's sort of a slow pass, and then quick going, and then someone's on their toes, and or Endai's got a little bit of a dribble in him, and we just create that opportunity. So confidence at the moment's good. It's nice that going into a little bit of a break, although we didn't want it, it's FA Cup the weekend. We're not playing Arsenal until a week on Saturday, so we get a good week and a bit until we do play again. So the lads have got a little bit of time, as Liam said, off to Portugal tomorrow as well. So everyone seems to be in good spirits.
Yeah, it is a perfect time to get a win, but I hate these breaks just when we finally seem like we've cracked the recipe. It feels like when you have that break and you've got to come back, you haven't got the rhythm that you've got. So it's a bad time. We always do this, and then we come back and have to get ourselves back on track and stuff. So hopefully we will come back strong. In the game, I'm going to go to all the good parts later on, but I will call out a few things. James Garner's crossing, I didn't think was that good. It was frustrating me at the start of the game, Paul. I like that we wasn't surrounding the keeper. We just put Dewsbury all on him, and we've learnt to not surround him. I like we wasn't doing that thing that we was doing against Man United. We was actually making runs in the box, which was good. But I know James Garner assisted one of the goals for Tarkowski. It was a good cross then. But why are we so crap at corners, Paul? Like, there was one, the first corner, if you remember it, on our left-hand side, James Garner whipped it, and it didn't even clear the front man. I was thinking, it's a waste because we've got such big players in the box. No, James Garner's good at crossing, but I don't understand why his corners ain't as good as his free kicks.
There was a couple of duff ones early doors. After that, they weren't too bad, but
got a little bit more.
Tarkowski, I don't know. He for the Newcastle game, he was on the keeper from the start, but it seemed to be like not James Garner, like Dewsbury Hall would do that, or someone else would do that in the middle, and then Tarkowski would almost try and run across the keeper or run across the defenders. So it didn't quite work as well as it did, obviously, against Newcastle, but the deliveries are still good. They are still good, generally, percentage-wise, at the moment, which is a change, which is a big change.
I'll put it, and this is my second little grumble. I had 2 grumbles on X whilst I was watching the game, and then we'll talk about all the good stuff and go complete celebration. But there was 2 times. I don't know whether Njai is not completely confident in Beto. There was 2 times Iliman Njai could have threaded Beto in. Beto was free down on his left-hand side. And Iliman Njai is making this wicked run, and he does it. Iliman Njai is insane, by the way. I love him. I'm not slating him at all, but it was 1-0 and we needed to go 2. Luckily, we did in the end. But Iliman Ndiaye's making these runs. And Beto made a good run to the left. And I thought, go on, Iliman, slip him in. And he had a shot, the first one. And Beto was in. Perfect. He made a good run to the left. I watched it. And then there was another chance as well where Iliman Ndiaye was winning. And Beto made a run to his right. And Iliman Ndiaye went the other side, on the wrong side, I feel. I think we have got to be a bit more confident in Beto now, because there's a couple of players that we're going to give credit to, but Beto was fantastic again. You know, his hold-up play was really good hold-up play, strong, smack. There's one point he headbutted their centre-backs. Do you know what I said to you? He'd watch out for their centre-backs. He'll edge to score. He literally did headbutt one of their centre-backs, and he didn't. And then what I did like about it as well with Beto is, if you watch the replay when he headbutted the centre-back, he was looking around to score where the ball was, and then realised he was really hurt. So he still wanted to score before he actually noticed he was really hurt. And I like that. That's how much the player wanted to score for us. And his touch wasn't bad today. It was a little bit better. He was sharper. And I think he was quite good again today, Paul, for us. He put a lot of shift in.
Yeah, going off Saturday and going off tonight, hold up plays a lot better. He gets his position. He gets into his position when he's receiving the ball with his back to goal. I mean, higher up the pitch. I don't mean sort of in the area or anything. He seems to get his positions in a little bit better. So he does the little shove off a defender just before the ball gets to him. So then he's got a little bit of space and then lays it off. There was one time it came into him. So he bit onto his right side and then it did outside of the foot pass for Ndiaye then. I think that was in the first half. So those bits are improving. The bits that him and Barry have really got to improve on is the movement in the area and getting across defenders as the ball's coming in. Because although, I mean, McNeil put a couple of crosses in from the left-hand side, one low, and then one, I don't know, is Mikalenko or McNeil, but the header that you're talking about, there was a couple of other times second half as well, where the defender's obviously going to do everything he can, but that's the next stage for them too. They've got to be able to cut across a defender. They've got to be able to not be stood behind a defender and have to grapple and be second choice for the ball when it comes over. They've got to be the ones in front. So, yeah, that's the next stage. If they can get to that, then that'll really, really help them get more goals.
Yes, Tyrell, Wolves 2-1. I think the reason Moyes does go for Beto is because, for example, our centre-backs, Paul, when the ball was played to our centre-backs today and their striker wanted to win it, Branthwaite and Tarkowski won every ball. Like, it literally, it kept coming back at them because Burnley had smashed the ball up and Branthwaite and Tarkowski always knew they was going to beat the striker to the ball. And I think that's why Moyes plays Beto, is because he knows that Beto doesn't let their striker beat the long ball. Beto does often get to it before their centre-backs. Their centre-backs are always not getting that ball, Paul, and always getting ruffled up on those long balls. And it really does make a difference, because I think, like, when you look at Branthwaite, you could see the confidence that Branthwaite and Tarkowski had, because they knew they always had the beating of the striker. Now, when you look at our striker, their centre-backs didn't have the beating of Beto on the long balls, and I think that's what Moyes does look at. He wants us to really put those centre-backs under pressure, and they never looked comfortable throughout the whole game, and there was two good centre-backs as well, so it was good that Beto, because they're two big lads, it was good that Beto was a handful for them both.
Yeah, and the thing is, Beto scores most of his goals with one touch, running onto it at some point, or a header. And so what he's got to do is just got to improve his ability to find the space to get that first touch. He had some good moments. There was a moment he got fouled, second half. Was it second half? Must have been second. No, it might have been first half. No, first half it was. And he did a little shuffle, right foot, left foot, got past a couple of defenders. I mean, he was still like 30, 40 yards out, but there was little snippets there that I don't know whether he's been working on it or he's more confident or whatever it is, but need more of those moments. He needs to be just a little bit more prolific when he's facing their goal as opposed to back to goal. And he could do it. eventually. Just needs the opportunities, I suppose, and Barry the same. If they can keep going and we can keep getting decent results, then they'll keep etching one or two goals, and between them could get a few more before the end of the season.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where Beto, I think he earned us a few corners right at the start of the game as well, and that lifted the crowd. He really did. He put, as Moyes said, you know what? He might not be the all-round complete player, and like you said, Paul, I think you're right in that there's the stuff that he needs to improve on with his runs and his timing, and you can see he's trying to get it right, but he's still learning, even at 25. I think even Beto would admit that's the part that he's trying to work on, but he does work hard. And he is working hard to be the best he can be, and we're behind him. And the good thing is, Barry and Beto, I feel like they're not in massive competition with each other now. I feel like they're both just going to try the best when they come on, and whoever gets selected is going to be decent. I've got to the point now where I say to myself, you know what? If you start Barry, I'm happy. If you start Beto, I'm happy. So that's quite good for me. I don't mind. I think they're good enough.
It's funny how over the last 12, 14 months, it has switched between the two. There was a moment that we thought Barry would never play for us again because he's not good enough and everything else. And jury's still out on both, but there was a time that we thought Barry was the man and Beto wasn't going to get picked again. And they just seemed to bounce back, the pair of them. Always seem to bounce back.
I really do think that. As I said to you, though, Paul, I really do think that I know they look like just two big centre forwards and they're the same player, but I don't think they are. I think Barry's faster and better with his feet, if you ask me. And but Beto can handle himself more. Barry gets ruffled up a little bit easier, and I think Beto can handle himself more, but isn't as good with his feet. So I think you play one if you're coming up against big centre backs like we did today. Beto, if you're coming up against big centre backs, because Barry's probably already got a little bit of an injury because we've seen him all strapped up. So Moyes has probably got that in mind. So he's put Beto in again. And Newcastle, we know, have got big centre backs as well, Paul, with Dan Burn as well. So I think if we come against centre backs that ain't massively going to ruffle you up, maybe Barry will start. Yeah. It might be on that case. Did you shit your pants when Dewsbury Hall did that pass back to the?
What was he playing at all? It's a good job. It's a good job their lad hasn't got a good touch. Otherwise,
Tarkowski as well was good, didn't they, Paul? Tarkowski made that lad think that he was going to snap him. I think, and he pooed his pants like that. I think Tarkowski literally stretched his foot, didn't he?
He did it.
Could have been a penalty. Yeah.
We did it a couple of times though. I mean, Mikalenko did one where Pickford sort of got us out of it as well, and we just a little bit. I mean, I'll show you the stats in a minute. We did take our foot off the gas. We didn't.
1-0. That's when.
Although we looked far more confident, we were still. Yeah, and we were making the odd little mistake, but on the positive side, we were also doing some lovely one-touch passes and it running forwards as well. There was a ball, I think, from Branthwaite left-hand side into Beto. Beto sort of flicks it outside of his right boot out to Ndai, who then plays it inside, and we just go again. So I am loving the little bromance that we have with Ndai and Garnegay at the moment, how they just want to give the ball to each other. It's no one else's ball, it's just theirs. Just a little bit of tick-and-tack.
Dewsbury always getting involved in that a little bit as well. And I like that.
Yeah,
he was kicking off on one of the shows saying we've got no connection with the players. Did they listen to our show or something? Because I literally said to you, didn't I? None of these players look connected and like to play with each other. And then two things I've said. I've said corners, don't surround the keeper, just make your runs in the box. And straight away we did it after we said it on the show. And then literally, like I said, no players actually doing 1-2s with each other. And now, Garnegay, Illiman and Giant, Dewsbury Hall, some really good passing.
Well,
shout out to Andre and I was just looking now, Gomez. Andre and Gomez for Wolves, fantastic. I've never ever felt more like singing the blues when Everton win and Liverpool lose. Oh, Everton, you got me singing the blues. I love it. Yeah, we've done it. They have lost. I just looked, confirmed 2-1, as it said in the comments. So we can all sing that song as much as we want.
We can, to whichever tune we like.
Yeah, love it. Just sing it all the time.
I'd say that was a fair. There was two sort of like a bit of a love in the comments about Ghana. I tell you what, lose the ball, win the ball, right foot, boom, off the bar. I tell you what, it would have been class if that had gone in. And now Skilly was, when he was knackered and he took him off, just spent doing a lap of honour, really. A lap of honour, signing autographs and all that sort of stuff. So it was a nice feeling to have.
Now we've got a couple of rants out of the way. Let's look at the first goal. So the first goal, we're not looking at it, we're not putting it on the screen, but we'll talk to you. We've got it in our heads. The first goal, as we mentioned it a little bit, written in the stars, wasn't it? Tarkowski against Burnley. I said that as well, didn't I, Paul? I said to your Burnley players against the rest team. I did say that to you. And McNeil, we mentioned it, played fantastic today. Really did play well. And McNeil, do you know what? I put a tweet up about McNeil on X because that's so many people when I looked on my Twitter. Why is McNeil in? Why is McNeil in? Why is McNeil in? Why is McNeil in? And I did say on the last show he plays well against Burnley. So he's, for that reason, I would put him in, and he played well against Newcastle. And someone said to me, we're allowed to be angry with McNeil because he's been playing crap. But I did say back, he didn't play crap against Newcastle. And I think that earned him the right to play the next game and does not actually get on his back and say, can you play 2 good games? And I think some of it is hatred because, and I ain't got nothing against you if you want to hate him for this, but it's because he wanted to leave Everton. And if you want to leave our club, but I, as I've said before on the show, I think we wanted him to leave as well. But McNeil today, I think he was fantastic. I really do. I think he was really good. I'm not saying he was a Will beater and did everything perfect, but the reason that I do think Moyes does select McNeil is because his defensive work is a lot better than the other players that we've got, Diblin and George. Now, sometimes when McNeil's got the ball, do I think if we had George and Diblin running with it, we might be a bit better taking players on? Yes. But when George and Diblin have played, they don't do the shift that McNeil does, defending, helping O'Brien out. So I can see why Moyes did go for it, Paul, because it was important that O'Brien does get the help because he'd been struggling right back a little bit. Not the last 2 games, but before that.
Yeah, it would be unusual for Moyes not to play an industrious player, and that's what McNeil is. And sometimes his left foot is a bit of a wand, and he can come up with a few belting goals like he has done previous for us. And I'm glad it's sort of coming back around for him now. He just works hard, and we've always respected anyone who plays for us, who puts in a proper shift and leaves everything on the pitch, which is why Beto has stayed for as long as he has, because we recognise people really trying to do their best. And McNeil's a little bit like that. He's almost got to do better than other people who have been in the side lately to sort of warrant his return and staying in the side. But there's lots of people who are happy with the argument of, if you win, why change the side, even if it's 3 days later. So if he's part of that side and he played well against Newcastle, he deserved it tonight, and that's how we've got it. So it'd be interesting if all players are fit and everything else, what we do against Arsenal in what will be 12 days or something.
I think when I'm looking at it, I do think that obviously if Grealish was available, Moyes would go with him because he offers more attacking and can rip players up a little bit more. But with McNeil, David Moyes knows that he's not going to lose possession on that right-hand side. And I think that's what Moyes is wanting him to do. I think we know our left-hand side is the strongest with Eleman and Jai. That's where we can actually break the lines, and that's where we can take players on and look more dangerous. You feel like it can happen more on your left. But on the right-hand side, sometimes when we play Diblin and George, they lose the ball and we're a little bit buggered. McNeil today as much. He didn't always take players on like we want as wingers, but he didn't lose the ball. Every time he got it, he cut in, he put it into Dewsbury Hall, he put it into Beto, he kept it with Jake O'Brien, and it just kept us playing football. And I think that's why Moyes like that balance of McNeil being on the right, Paul, is because when it went to him, he is a neat and tidy player. Can't use his neat and tidy player.
And well, that's why generally he doesn't tend to give it away an awful lot on that right hand side, because he very rarely will try and go round the outside of the defender on that right side and get across him with his right foot. He will always come back on his left. And I mean, there's plenty of players who have done that in the past. Robin was an absolute wizard for Holland and for all the clubs he played for. You know, everyone would have, yeah, exactly. Everyone would have had him in their team. I'm not saying McNeil's a Robin.
Saying McNeil's better than Robin.
Exactly, yeah. But he can be a little bit predictable. So I'm not always a fan of him being on the right hand side, but it suits the way that we do short passes when we sort of bring it back inside. We don't have a lot of width at times, and I think Diblin, to his credit or his detriment or his naivety at the moment, is that when he's been playing and obviously on that right hand side, he will sort of drag the ball with his left and then try and go on the outside. But when he's got off, as you often do as a winger, you get doubled up on and he ends up losing the ball just from sheer numbers. I felt a little bit sorry for him tonight. He came on for about 5 minutes. Got fouled twice. Got fouled twice as well. So he's probably not the happiest at the moment, but his time will come if he gets the chance, or if, you know, McNeil cements his right-hand side place, as he may well do.
Yeah, as long as everyone's happy and it's good competition, I don't mind. I think when you're pulling out results like we are, I think we've got a happy squad at the minute. Hopefully we have anyway. We don't know what's going on that bench, but the players that are coming on look like they're still putting a shift in. I mean, that's what I'll talk about Tarkowski's goal, and it got me talking about McNeil, but McNeil did get the foul for the Tarkowski goal. He went down, we got the free kick. James Garner whips the ball in.
Yeah.
Tarkowski just onside. I definitely think he was. I mean, they kept showing us the replay like he wasn't. I was always confident he was, but you never know, do you?
Yeah.
Cracking run, and I'm surprised with the two big centre backs they've got. They're letting Tarkowski have a free header like that. It's bread and butter. That was for Tarkowski. He's never going to miss that. And cracking goal, and he was really happy, wasn't he, Tarkowski, with his new long hair. He's in his celebration. Good that he got a goal. I did say on the show
his long hair.
When I watched when I cropped the video of mine and yours goal scorers, I actually did say a centre back, but I picked Branthwaite. I said a centre back will score, and I went with Branthwaite.
You did.
Tarkowski. And I did say to you, Dewsbury Hall would score. He looks like he's on it a little bit, didn't I? And Dewsbury Hall did score. So all I needed was a better goal, and all three of my predictions would have been close to being right, other than the actual centre back. I was getting there. Yeah, I was getting there.
You would have been. Yeah, you would have been all right. But Tarkowski's last goal was the goal in the derby, supposedly. So it's been a year. I mean, that year, how fast is that? Bloody hell! How fast is that year gone? By the way. But yeah, that was his last goal. That was his last goal, I think. So he'll probably score again next week.
Someone said to me, "I put McNeil fantastic. Played really well. McNeil fantastic." And there was like loads of comments saying, "Yeah, he did." People agreeing, "Yeah, McNeil did have a good game." And I was thinking, "I'll call him out if he does have a good game." And then one of the comments said, "Yeah, he was incredible. Make sure we give him a new contract." I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't go too over the top." You know what I mean? I think he was fantastic and I was happy for him, but I won't be dishing out new contracts. You know what I mean? Let's just calm down. I won't go over the top. He played well, but let him have a couple of games and see how good he is. I think McNeil wants to move on maybe, and I think we want to bring a new winger in next season. But if McNeil wants to be professional and advertise himself well, because if he wants a good move, he's got to play well for us, hasn't he? So I think if he plays well, it's good for him for his move, and it's good for us. But I do think we'll move on from McNeil next season. And if we don't, fair enough. That's no disrespect to him, by the way. But I won't go over the top of it.
Yeah.
Second goal, Paul. What was you going to chuck on? So the second goal.
No, I was going to show you stats in a second. I mean, I tell you what, I was surprised at their keeper. I just thought he was really slow. Maybe we've been spoiled watching Pickford every week, but I thought it just seemed very simple. Great work by McNeil on, again, our right-hand side, comes inside. Lovely pass, bringing it from out the air, and then just a simple pass through and a nice dinky finish. But I thought that keeper was slow coming out. I think they were there for the taking all the way through, I think. But we just didn't find the killer goal until the hour, which is what it was, 60 minutes. So yeah, we found the gaps. I thought it was good. It was at the end of it was a good few passes anyway. And at no point did we ever seem uncomfortable or under massive pressure. So everyone was just more relaxed, and you could see that in the second goal.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it was a good time to play Burnley. Like you say, we need to break that curse at home. And I feel like that was a good team to break the curse, because I do feel like we was okay, but I don't think we was that good. If we come up against a stronger team at home, I think we might have struggled a little bit more. Luckily, Burnley was quite easy when there was attacking. There was a few chances that they had, but it was comfortable all game. People really was.
Yeah, I think so. These are the. I'll show you a few of the stats from the game. This is first half. I mean, this shows you how it sort of swayed as well. So this is first half. Yeah, pretty dominant, I would say as well. 60 odd possession, just comfortable. 10 shots in the first half. I mean, 3 on target. 4 of them blocked and stuff, but fairly dominant. I mean, they had 1 shot, wasn't even on target. When you sort of throw that against second half, you kind of do take your foot off the gas, and they get half a chance here and there. But we still had plenty of shots, and we still had pretty much as many as we had on target in the first half. And we just sort of nailed it. We did have a disallowed goal as well. I thought Garner Gay was just going to walk right through the middle of all the defenders and then just side-footed into the net. But when he played Ndiaye through, he was just offside. But again, that just shows how comfortable we were, really. I think they'll be disappointed, I think, with maybe how they played, but we should be quite happy with how we've carried on and got 2 wins in a row after having 2 defeats in a row. God, that's us all over, isn't it?
Yeah, someone said there about your XG. The XG was shocking. It's because our possession just wasn't that dangerous. I did say to you, once we first half, it was 1-0. Second half, I thought, oh my days, this is going to be a lot, because we didn't look like we wanted to make it 2. A lot of the game I was watching us pull, I was thinking, we're just trying to get a 1-0 here. Luckily, we started to attack a little bit more again, but we really did sit on that 1-0 like we wanted to defend it the whole 45 minutes of the second half. And where you mentioned the possession changed at the end of the game, it's just because we literally just let them have possession then and just sat back deep and just thought we'll defend this out. But
it was.
How did you get the second? It was scary at 1. I'll tell you that.
We didn't. But we didn't do it to our detriment. It wasn't like we've gone 1 up, we're going to sit back like we've done before. It wasn't sort of a one where we were still pressing quite out of the pitch, which I think is brilliant for us. I think we play so much better when we try and do that. McNeil was all over the show, chasing people down. I mean, even to the point, even the defenders as well. Mikalenko was quite high when he was sort of racing towards their right winger, right midfield, and not letting him turn much. And everyone was just very on it and very quick to close down.
I put something on X about Ghana Gay saying the AFCON players are back to. And do you know what? If you go and win the AFCON, if you go and win it, it's not easy to win a competition. It can take it out, and I feel, and no disrespect to Williman and Jai and Ghana Gay, I feel like they've come back and it felt like they've not even had a pre-season. They've come back not the same players in Jai and Ghana Gay, and I felt today some of us had doubts with playing Ghana Gay centre mid, and I did say he played well against Newcastle, so let's give him another go. And he was fantastic today, Ghana Gay. That when he had that shot and it hit the top corner, he closed that down himself. He was talking about pressing. He slipped and pressed it himself to get himself the ball. And he did it numerous times as well. And some of the, like say, the link-up play as well. We've not seen that with Ghana Gay, really confident in their opposition, looking like he can. Because I've been slating Ghana Gay saying, you've not looked that threatening in the final third, which he hasn't. But today he did look a little bit threatening in the final third with that link-up play with Njai and Dewsbury. I don't mind it.
He did.
But that's what we want. That is what we want. And I'm glad he showed a lot better today, Ghana Gay. And I hope he stays like that now and Njai does as well, because there was a lot better than he was today, those two players. Especially at 2-0.
Yeah, and
once we got 2-0.
Yeah. Well, they were taking a bit, but we passed it. We passed it short all the time. And it was. I mean, even that second half, there was a moment where Burnley had. It was on this left-hand side. If you're watching on the screen, the left-hand side included Ndai, Dewsbury, and Ghana Gay. There were 4 Burnley players and those 3 lads, and it was just 3 5-yard passes, and it was just so simple. But we ended up moving forward and then managing to get a cross in the box, or we pulled it back to the edge of the box, something like that. But just so comfortable in the ball, and we've said all the time, but we particularly have picked out relationships and sort of bonds and links between particular players, and we're always sort of banging on about the wings. You need that in the middle, and Ghana Gay and I have got it. If you can get Dewsbury all into that little clicky, tiki-taka group, then that could be even better then to create 1 or 2 chances. You really could be.
Emma says when we're sorting membership, still sorting out. Emma, we're definitely looking to do it. Just want to make sure it's right and fair with you lot watching it. To be fair, we're quite strict that we're always decent on the membership stuff. We want to make sure we have got loads to offer when we do the membership thing. We want you to be a member and not get it right for you, but we're definitely still looking on that, Emma. Loads of people Spurs on about the different Spurs fan. We have got Harry as a Spurs fan, but we will ask that Spurs fan that you said, Eltel as well. I'm just really happy. I really am. I'm glad we broke that curse. Where's the league? You've got that league table? I bet you have, haven't you? I bet you have.
Yeah, I'll throw it up. Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. Why not? I mean, I shouldn't be saying this. I shouldn't be looking at the league table. I really shouldn't, because I've just managed to stop myself from being depressed about flopping the Europa League chances that we've had, and I think we're around it again, ain't we now?
Well, I'm not even sort of looking above, really. I'm just glad.
You are.
I mean,
you are. You are.
Not really.
No, I'm not looking above.
No, I know, but no, I'm avoiding it a little bit because I think Chelsea have got a game in hand anyway. So is Brentford just above us a point? So I'm kind of half looking at Brentford. I'm not looking above that, and I'm enjoying the little +1 goal difference we've got, because we haven't had a plus goal difference for a little while. So it's nice to have that above 2 teams who have now got -2 goal difference, or Sunderland -4. So it's unusual for us to have a better goal difference than most of the teams around us.
Well, I'm thinking. This is why I don't like looking at the table. You know what I'm like, positive Dan. I'm looking at that table and I'm thinking, you know what, we've got a derby coming up. Can we get like around the points where we could actually go above them before we play the derby?
Well, yeah. I mean, this table that you've got here, this is when it was 0-0. By the way, this is before we. This is just before we came on. So obviously with Liverpool losing 2-1. So they are on 48 points.
So we're only 5 points behind.
9 goal difference.
So literally, if they lose If they lose before we play them and we win, and we keep winning, the derby, if we beat them, we go above them. Oh my days! See, this is what happens when you start looking at league table, people. You start, and so you should, so you should. But it's just, I think we wouldn't be scared of looking at that league table if they wouldn't have flopped us 3 times already, Paul. That's the thing. They've scarred us so much. I mean, of course, as a fan, you want these big games where you've got a chance of actually competing for something. Because I remember when we went out at the cup and we was mid-table, we said our season's over, we've got nothing to play for. So you do want something to play for. I want us to get around that Europa League area, I really do. But it just seems every time we say it, we curse it.
Yeah, we do a little bit. We do a little bit. Just enjoy it. I mean, there's positives in terms of. By the way, this is who we've got coming up. Just sort of to have an idea of what we've got. These are the remaining fixtures as well. By the way, I mean, Christ Almighty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 9 games left. I mean, 9 games left. There's 9 games left. Wow. So if we are to sort of do anything major, there's major teams that we have to get results against. And if you look at the reverse fixtures of these, it didn't work out so well. We did lose most of them, but I think we're currently going through a nice little spell. We got a little bit of gap. We then got away game, Arsenal, God knows. Chelsea at home, I always fancy us to do something. Plenty of away games, and that seems to be our strength, with a few home games to enjoy.
I'll tell you what to do. I've got a plan, Paul, here. I've got a plan. I've got good plans, haven't I? Right?
Yeah. This is my plan. Here we go.
So I remember looking at these fixtures. I remember looking at these fixtures. This is my plan. I remember looking at these fixtures, and we've been in relegation battles with these fixtures. That's what normally happens with us.
Yeah.
And when we've been in relegation battles with these fixtures, we normally finish the season strong, don't we? Because we stay up.
We have done, yeah.
So I remember us in relegation battles having Chelsea and Pickford playing amazing and us doing well against Chelsea. I remember us in relegation battles actually doing well against Arsenal as well. So if we tell ourselves now, Everton fans, that we're 18th now, we're currently sitting 18th, and these are the 9 games that we've got to survive. And that's all you've got to. Don't think about where we are really. Just tell that yourselves in your head that we're sitting 18th, and these are the games we've got to survive. And we need to just act like that's what we need to do. And if we do that, and we finish the season how we normally finish it, Paul, we could be okay. Because we do finish strong normally, don't we, when we're in relegation battles? So that's what we're going to do. Reverse psychology there.
Yeah, we do. We often do things. I remember quite a few Decembers we tended to have a shocker like 3-4 weeks where we would have, Arsenal, Chelsea, United all away or something, and then we'd have some like Spurs or someone at home, and we'd come out with like 2 wins, 2 draws or something that we were never expected to get. So, hey, you never know. And we're also playing some teams there who are in the mire. Play West Ham, excuse me, in the middle of that. That Palace, I think, will get dragged, but you tipped them a little bit to sort of be wavering a touch. We got them towards the end. We've then got Sunderland at home, but then Spurs away. And although I think most of us think Spurs will sort of get out of it, it'd be interesting if they're not come the last day. That would be a bit of a turn up.
Yeah, I do need to get someone for this chair, Danny. I've brought the chair new as well. How can you buy a chair new and it squeaks?
Get the WD-40 on it.
Yeah, well, I probably will have to do it. I was thinking the same thing, Danny. So it probably actually irritates me more than what it does you. But I have got a bit of a squeaky chair, yeah. And it's new as well. It's not even old, so I can't blame that. Spurs players seem to have bad attitudes. Richarlison to Everton at the end of the season, maybe. You never know. Man United already talking about getting their centre-back. 120 million for their centre-backs. That must mean Brantford is worth 200 million. How about that?
Exactly.
We got
That's
really
our whole
good play
budget.
today. It's really good play today. Like Kieran Dewsbury Hall, fantastic. How long have we wanted a good number 10 office? Come on, like it feels good, doesn't it? To have. Like, I remember I used to think Dewsbury Hall was quite decent for Leicester. I thought, oh, I wish we had a number 10 like that that can actually finish and dangerous and quite crafty. And because we used to look at number 10s, and I ate the rap Fernandez, but you knew Manu's number 10 was okay. You knew Maddison was a good number 10. You knew there was good 10s about, and we didn't have one. But now we have got one, you know. Jacoby was okay. He kept us up. But Dewsbury Hall, he's a baller, he is, isn't he? And he's decent. He's rising up, and now Grealish has gone. Like, we needed some character to step forward without Grealish. And it does feel that Dewsbury Hall and Garner, we're seeing some little bit of good stuff today. I'm seeing players happy, and that's big, you know. If they're happy on the pitch, they're confident on the pitch, if we're confident we play good football. And I think that's what happened today. Like, look, even Branthwaite, when he's running back, he's just making things look easy. Branthwaite is so fast, by the way. When you watch him jog back, he's jogging, his legs are that long, he can cover everything.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big downfall for us not playing Branthwaite centre-back, honestly. Because you look at Branthwaite and Tarkowski, they look like they're going to give each other high fives. So they've got everything under control. People that slated Mikalenko, I'm sorry, but he's come back and he's been sensational. I don't care about his attacking stuff. We've got Iliman and Jai to do that. Mikalenko's made a big difference coming back. And Jake O'Brien as well, by the way, people. Jake O'Brien's been solid. He's gone back to his good ways at right back, but maybe that's because McNeil's in front of him, helping him out as well. So it's good all over the pitch. Garner Gay, Dewsbury Hall, James Garner, even Beto's played well. Can't really slate any of those players today, and that's good for us. That's not normally what us Everton fans do, is be happy about our players.
Yeah. We ended up with fighters, didn't we? We ended up with a bunch of fighters and people who would scrap for a result. And although that was maybe a necessity at the time, and thankfully we got through things, we deserve better. And I'm glad we've kind of got through that, because I think the lads who've come in since, I think they've still got a bit of a grit about them, but they've got a little bit of quality as well, and it's definitely a step up. From 12 months ago, it's definitely a step up. So the idea will be to finish this season as strong as you can, and then look at those positions that then need strengthening further.
I think our football club is in a really good position now. If you look back, we was struggling to pass the ball, and we've added a couple of ballers now. And I honestly do believe we're probably 2-3 players next season off being a real force, you know. I think we're like, do you know what, you got the building blocks, Paul, and we've, like you say, we've got some good building blocks now. Garner in the middle, Dewsbury always quite young, decent, Branthwaite good, O'Brien good. We really have got good building blocks to be a strong team next season if we add to it, and we're not far away. And I'm liking it. These players as well are getting better with every game as well. I honestly do feel sometimes I watch us and I know we're not perfect. Like today, Paul, we were struggling to unlock Burnley, but I do feel like when I'm watching us, they're going through the emotions these players are and just getting used to each other. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm starting to see them. Like we mentioned earlier on, Kieran Dewsbury Hall and Garner Gay and James Garner linking up with Dewsbury Hall a little bit more than what they normally do. And it's only going to get better. I think that's why Moyes wants to keep playing the same team as well, because the players are starting to play well together. And I'm buzzing with that. And I know some people will say, oh, it was only Burnley. We normally can't put a game like that to bed. We play crap against crap teams. We really do. That's a game we would normally struggle with. Do you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to Bournemouth. I know they're a lot better, but I thought we should have freaking put that game to bed at 1-0 as well. So we generally, that was a lot better for us.
Yeah, and over the years, well, the many years, maybe too many, that I've been watching, our best sides have always been ones that have had a small core of players. So sort of not going back to the 80s, although the 80s you would have Reed and you'd have Steve and you'd have Rats, you'd have Neville, you'd have Sharp, Sheeds, you'd have loads, but that was a key core of players. And then as you kind of got mid-90s, and we sort of improved there, you've got Watson doing what he did, and you've got Gary Speed is then in there. You've then got Kanchelskis, for example. That was a key season or a couple of seasons. Big Dunks in there as well. So, there's a core group there. And then you kind of go into the 2000s, 2010s and such. You've got Cale in there. You've got Osman in there. You then get the likes of Jags in there. You get Lukaku in there. And then you've got your other core. So moving forward, if we're going to continue to improve, we need to have those core players who would be playing in week out, but would be really strong as a unit. And that might be James Garner, Dewsbury Hall, Ndai. It might then be someone coming in as striker who could then maybe be that strong link.
People in the comments on about a new striker, completely agree. But Beto and Barry doing a job, but maybe we need someone a bit more clinical with them. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably do. But I've seen it. Jack Grealish is in the gym and says he's going to come back even stronger. And I really hope we do sign Jack Grealish. It will be one of them. If we don't sign Jack Grealish, he'll go somewhere and smash it, And he's been fantastic for us. And I think we realised that when we hadn't had him, we've really struggled to get ourselves back in the rhythm with losing him. And we found a little bit of a way now. I still think we'd be better with Jack Grealish in the team. But we found a way to still be okay without him, but nowhere near as good as what we was with him. And Jack Grealish, I think he loves Everton. I really do hope we sign him, though, because he's that picture where he said, I'm back in the gym and I'm coming back stronger. I want to be part of that comeback. I really do. Do you think it's a risk, Paul, signing him? Because do you think that injury is one where he could become an injury-prone player now, or do you think it's just it'll heal and it's fine?
No, not necessarily. I think he'd be all right. I think the added complication that when you have really good players in similar positions is where do you put people? And that's when your 11 changes. So say that we do sort of have a settled side when Jack is due to come back in, if if all goes as we maybe expected to do, and then Dye's playing so well on that left-hand side, does that mean that Jack doesn't start? Does it mean then that he goes in the 10? Does it mean that Njai then has got to go on the right? Do you know what I mean? It's those kinds of changes. I mean, when I'm saying and alluding to core of a side, these are the ratings from tonight. So just have a little look of the team, because I think this is probably our best 11 at the moment, arguably. I know we've won 2 games in a row and it's not, we're not winning the league or anything, but are they our best 11? Who's out that should be ahead of any of those people? Arguably McNeil, possibly, but,
In the comments, Dewsbury's going nowhere, by the way. To the comments are talking about Dewsbury, Man City being interested. Dewsbury, he was playing at Chelsea. He don't want to be messed about, subbed or benched. He wants to be the main man. And Everton's the perfect club for Dewsbury, and he's loving it at us, by the way. He's not going nowhere. But yeah, I think, Paul, the marks are just, everyone's similar, isn't he? And that kind of links with what I said. I don't think no one played bad today, generally. I mean, they've slipped McNeil a 6.9, but I thought he was decent enough to be in the 7s as well. But everyone played decent. And if you can get it's like if you can get everyone playing a 7-8, Paul, you're a decent football team, ain't you? That's the most important thing, isn't it? It connects, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean it's flash score, so it's very hit and miss. I don't think Branthwaite was a 7 by any means, really, or Pickford. I don't think McNeil was. I thought McNeil worked really hard, so I don't think any of our lads should be a 7 or less. You can see gaps there where you would improve in hindsight in a year, 18 months. Would you still want? You wouldn't want O'Brien at right back, for example. We've said that for a year already. You might not want Beto up front. You might want someone you might want someone else. You might not want McNeil on the right-hand side. You would want someone else. So there's gaps there to be filled. But if you look at the middle of the pitch, And if you look at those, say 5 or 6, Pickford in goal, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Garner Gay, Dewsbury Hall, that kind of little area in the centre of and sort of around our spine is absolutely key. That's where you would be your strongest. Thankfully, we are at the moment.
It was a good save. Delap mentioned in the comments, Delap hasn't been that good for Chelsea. Whether he'd be better for us, I don't know. When we're in Europa League, we can have a lot of options for good strikers, so we'll have to see what's in the mix as well. I wouldn't mind an undercover, really good up-and-coming striker, to be fair. I'm going to put it on you quick. I'm going to put you on, and I don't want you to take no longer than 3 seconds for each one, yeah? Right?
Go on. Yeah.
No longer than 3 seconds. Jordan, I want you to give these players ratings. Jordan Pickford.
7.5.
Mikalenko.
7.
3 seconds.
5. 7.5.
7.5. Yeah, good one. Branthwaite.
7.2.
Tarkowski.
7.6.
Branthwaite got 7.2. Tarkowski got better. O'Brien.
7.2.
Gone again.
8.
Oh, naughty. James Garner.
7.9.
Yeah, I don't think Garner was as high as Dewsbury Hall. And Jai.
And Jai, 8.2.
8.2, naughty. Dewsbury Hall.
8.
McNeil.
7.9.
Beto.
7.5.
There you go, Paul. That's Paul with with our scores today. I like you say, I've gone to get an 8.4. I did think he was decent, but I don't think he was like majorly better than everyone else this game. And he has been superb some other ones, and he was okay still, but I don't think he was the standout player today. But he was still definitely good, isn't it? I'm getting used to Garner being good. That's the thing, isn't it? He does put a shift in and move the ball about. Yeah, we are getting used to
we
it.
are very. Right, we're still all very reactive, aren't we? So we enjoy it while we've got it, and a little bit of consistency is nice, if only over a few days. But 2 wins are 2 wins, so it's good.
Do you know what? Like when you've got to think back, right, and think back to when we was all on the show after Man United, and everyone was so depressed. Liam had had enough, Emma had had enough, I'd had enough, Paul had had enough. It was probably one of the most depressing shows we've done on a reaction. We couldn't lift each other up, and we didn't even try. And we was just so frustrated. People was even saying we're not going to win a game now from now to the end of the season. Everyone was fuming after that Man U game. And we generally didn't think we was going to win a game from now to the end of the season. And I did say we'll win quicker than what you believe. I can't tell you why, because there was nothing from that Man United game to say why we would win quick. But we did. We won at Newcastle at their ground. Cracking result. And then straight after, we come up with a new challenge. Can we break that curse at home? Because people are starting to over-talk this new stadium thing. And we broke it. We broke it. And to top it off, you know what? When you win at the Hill Dickey, who goes and loses? Cop-Eyes. They lose. Because I've never felt more like singing the blues. You know what I mean? When Everton win and they lose. So it's been quite a good last 2 games, hasn't it, Paul? It's been decent. Yeah, got to be happy, people. As Paul's just said. Remember how shit it felt after that Man U game, so appreciate how it feels now, because it didn't have to. We've earned that. We've earned that. We went to Newcastle's ground, 4-hour travel or whatever, gave them a little bit of a naughty spanking, and now we're just going to beat Burnley at home and broke that duck. So I'm happy, Paul. Paul's happy as well. I'm happy. Paul got score prediction right. I got the lineup right. Let's go and celebrate. I've got to go and do a video again now. I might have to do one linked to home, Paul, like a song about home, isn't it? Because we won at home. Moyes is happy.
Indeed, yeah.
He's definitely growing.
I'm sure there's a dance one you can get on there.
You know, that's definitely that's literally.
Well, everyone was getting in. Everyone was getting in on the act. Even You Make Me Feel was there as well. So
he's literally like, I'm not even joking. I know this has happened. Tarkowski's like lying on the sofa with his partner Paul, And she's playing with his hair. She goes, "Oh, you'd be nice with long hair." And he's growing his hair, Tarkowski, with long hair now, because she's told him to. She's like, "Oh, I want you with long hair." And Tarkowski's growing his hair just for that reason. It looks funny with Tarkowski with long hair. Bless him. Up the top is everyone. It is the end of the show. Unfortunately, you won't see us for a while again now.
I'd love her as a guest.
We're just getting a ribbon.
Yeah, we're just getting her.
Love her on as a guest.
We're gonna have a little break.
You'd be chatting her up whilst I'm like holding you off and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'll be like, Paul, eye contact. Look at me when I'm talking to you. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, I gotta love it. Up the top is everyone. Have a boss one. And we'll be here again for the next match. The next 2 matches are hard as well, so we've really got to. I enjoy the break because we've got 2 biggies coming up. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. We'll build ourselves up for it, and I'm interested to see whether a 4th time lucky. Have a boss one, everyone. Up the top is we did it. We broke that curse at the Hill. And then top is